Hello again, everybody. It's the Freelance Teacher. I'm Doug Marola for this episode of the Freelance Teacher Podcast. A couple of bits of news. Our trip to Ecuador is going to be set up within the week, and I'll keep you posted about that on the website. But I have to talk to you a little bit about what to look out for either as a young person or if you're a parent or older or an aspiring parent. I know that sounds kind of funny, but I have to explain to you some of the real world consequences of the education system today. I should really say the school system, because there is no one best education system. People educate themselves all the time about many different things. And so education is an amorphous, shapeless, kind of linear. As you get older, you get educated on certain things depending upon what you're doing. But my point is, after 14, I had a student who is no longer on my list because of scheduling quirks, but I had a student ask me, as we were looking at some of our mythology, which is filled with dates, right? We talk about the mystery schools. I talk about ancient Egypt. We then go into the ancient Mesoamerican stories about Kukulkan and the things from Central and South America. I had a student ask me one of these dates. I said something about 1200 AD or one of the dates AD, and he asked me in all seriousness, does AD mean after dinosaurs? So it would have been mean to make fun of that. I mean, that's kind of funny. You have to admit that's damn funny. But it's not funny when you think of somebody's 14 years old and they've been in compulsory state-funded, that's taxpayer-funded school for 10 years, and they think that AD means after dinosaurs. Now, you can apologize and make all the excuses you want for school, but you can't make excuses for that one. Okay, I'm sorry. You just can't. So there are... And one of the things that when I bring these things up, people... And I mean this, and I'm really directing this to the young people, because people will defend the indefensible. Oh, that's just one random example. Or you can't use anecdotal evidence to make your point. And you come up with all kinds of things to justify, well, this system that is going on, the things that are happening within school, everything is okay. And that one little example that you bring up does not impugn the entire system. Okay, I can see that as a point, but, with something as basic as 1200 AD, and then the response is, does AD mean after dinosaurs? What's been going on in that young person's life in school that made it through? It's difficult to try to figure that one out. And there are other examples as well, like in the school game where I operate, the school world, the school business, I should say, because it is a business. Let's to have these kinds of examples come through. There's not the only one, but you've got these kind. After a while, you start to wonder what's going on. What is going on in the school world? And I have my headset in because I listen to podcasts. I had kind of an awkwardly titled video cast a little bit ago called "What I Do That Makes Me Smart," and it sounds kind of arrogant. Right? Look how smart I am. But I'm listening to a podcast with Stefan Molyneux and Dr. Duke Pesta, and Pesta is a university English teacher, a tenured English teacher at a college, and they're talking about what they're seeing, particularly Dr. Pesta, at these schools, and you have to wonder if what is being pushed, what is being focused on, what is being taught is two things. Is it worth the price? So your high schools and your grade schools, is it worth the price that you pay in property tax? And if you rent, your property tax is paid through your rent. Or, so you have to think of it that way as a cost basis. Or is what's being stressed education, is it worth it? And the After Dinosaurs examples is just one thing that's it's, you know, it's memorable and it's kind of silly and funny, but it's indicative of what I see at my job. Now, Dr. Pesta in this podcast with Molyneux is saying about what he sees at the university, and he's in a completely different place, right? I'm in a public school in Lower Westchester, and I think he's in a small Christian college, and he runs a website like I do, and people can subscribe and learn things that in theory will help you move forward in life, that will help you become more educated and more skilled and lead a richer, more fulfilling life. Now, he sees it in the education of these university students that everything is political, everyone is oppressed, well, except for one group of people. Everybody is oppressed. And what I see at the high school level in the public school in my area where I work is almost, I don't know what it is. I mean, there are just a lot of people that don't have the skill level that you would think, and the AD example is just a historical skill, the skill level of someone who's 14 that you would expect. Which, you know, historical skill, I had a student ask me if when I was a child there was slavery. You know, she didn't ask if I had slaves. She asked if slavery was still going on when I was a young boy. So, you know, after a while, and this is to the young people, I want you to listen to the criticisms of these kinds of things when you bring them up. What do people say to defend the educationally atrocious thing that you've brought up? And it's going to go something like this. Anecdotal, it's going to be 1, anecdotal evidence doesn't count. 2, not all young people are like that. You know, but eventually, you got to pull your head out of the sand and be like, hold on a minute. These things might be indicative of a larger trend. And if they are, can I find more evidence that things in school are going the wrong way? And I'll tell you right now, it's one of the reasons why people don't like to talk to me, because I can bombard them with evidence that what's going on in school isn't working and that it is going the wrong way. Luckily, by watching this, you're going the right way, and you're looking for more knowledge, and you're looking to educate yourself without, you know, the public system, or maybe if you're in a private school, that system. But you're looking for something else, and you want to think for yourself and be independent. And that's really the whole idea behind becoming an educated, full person. Thank you very much. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you next time. This is The Freelance Teacher at thefreelanceteacher.com. See you later.